hues not your thing? Take cues from your environment. Amy and Kurt got engaged outside and married on a beach in Southern California, so the colors they used seem like second nature. Pistachio, pink, cream, and tan were the colors of the day. From the candles and the orchids on the tables to the natural wood parasols and fans, the beach wedding locale provided a beautiful backdrop to this nature-inspired affair. Getting married outside doesn't have to mean a muted palette. Take inspiration from these couples that use bright hues to make for very colorful weddings. Nicole had a fondness for yellow, which made for a very citrus-inspired affair. From yellow roses in the bouquets to centerpieces lined in lemons and limes, every element of the wedding was coordinated with the bright and cheery hue that she said represents sunshine and happiness. Jill, too, wanted the feel of sunshine, but she chose a softer option, a pale yellow and white, for her casual waterside wedding. But even though the colors were muted, they were still very distinctive. A nice take on a bright color scheme is to use limon, a lemony green, paired with red, a bold complementary color combination. Now, we first saw this great combo on this Crane Save the Date. It uses a limon cardstock with a raspberry red ink. It has such a modern feel. And then let's see how these colors will translate into the cocktail hour decor. You know, you'd have little floral elements that combine your reds and your greens. They don't have to be the exact matches. And then if you're having, cocktail napkins, split the runs. You have your two colors in combination underneath different people's drinks. And on the fashion front, now imagine your bridesmaids are in limon dresses, and then out at the end of the line pops your flower girl in this red silk shantung dress by Smitherman and Barnwell. And here's the trick. By keeping the green a yellow green, as you see in these hypericum berries, it doesn't look Christmassy. Now, let's look at how a multicolored palette can create a very festive feel. For their July wedding in Washington, D.C., Vanessa and Vinny used lime green, bright blue, mango orange, and a deep purple for their punchy palette. One key to their colors working together was the strong visual motif, butterflies. As you can see here, it held all the elements together. Megan and Reese also used very vibrant pinks and oranges for their Florida wedding. This pregnant bridesmaid wore fuchsia, while the others wore orange. But these analogous colors worked really well together and played beautifully off the sunset backdrop for their seaside ceremony. Every element of their wedding was color coordinated. Let's take a peek at an unexpected color combo. Orange and blue might not immediately scream wedding to you, but look at how sophisticated it can be. First, the invitation. We gave our creative color palette to Sarah Drake, and she came up with this incredible invitation. The unique floral motif in orange on the simple blue card, and we love how the sans serif fonts keep the feel fresh and modern. And then we gave our invitation to Buddy Velastro of Carlo's Bakery, and look at the cake he came up with. It's fresh in feel with its very simple lines. It has a fondant icing, and he uses the exact motif from the invitation that he stenciled all over the cake. And you can add other little touches on your cake table, whether it's a bow on your cake serving set or a guest book in a coordinating color palette. Keep within your color palette with the fashion as well, like we've done here with this bridesmaid's dress. The lines are simple like all the other design elements of our wedding. Now you could go blue on blue here for a very simple look, but we also like the idea of adding these orange ranunculus. It just gives that hit of color that will be picked up later in the wedding. A great way to source color chips and get ideas is to go to the hardware store and snag some from the paint section. Thank you, Benjamin Moore. You can also use swatches of fabric, paper by the pound, pieces of ribbon, or the official color source for professionals, the Pantone Fan Book. Romantic and feminine, pink is probably the most popular wedding color. There's so many different shades and it can be used in so many different ways. Anne and Cord used pink and brown for their October wedding in Austin, Texas. From the program cards to the cake, these colors can be preppy and chic at the same time. And pretty much any color looks great with chocolate, as long as it's bright enough, because it will pop against the contrasting brown hue. Aristea's favorite color is magenta, so she used this bright hue along with yellow to create a palette that really popped for her New York wedding. The centerpieces of roses, lemons, limes, and orchids looked gorgeous against the hot pink tablecloths. And each place setting incorporated her bold colors with a cymbidium orchid tied to a hot pink napkin with a bright yellow ribbon. Emily and Ryan mixed a vibrant red, pink, orange, and a little bit of blue and green to make a striking palette for their Texas wedding. From the flowers, to the bridesmaids' dresses, to the escort card table, all of the colors held together. And pink and orange are another example of analogous colors. Though related, they don't compete with each other, rather they play off each other nicely. And in Jen and Matt's July wedding, you can see that not all elements contained every color in the palette, and that's okay. You don't have to use every single hue on every single item. This wedding had a great mix of using lots of color, but not using too much of it on any one thing. Here's another take on pink, a soft salmon paired with a light sky blue. Now this Save the Date and invitation are by Q Stein Company, and they're from the Alice's Garden collection. They call this color combination Spring Song, and have paired it with a basic black ink. It's really beautiful and different kind of look. Now the bridesmaids could all be in pink, like in this Alvina Valenta satin gown, and then the flower girl could pick up the light blue. Now this flower girl basket is in a matching silk shantung with the dress, and we'd stick monochromatic here. Like they could use these icy blue shimmer bags, and they're perfect actually for your favors or to carry lavender as we have here for tossing at the bride and groom. Now the cake is by Sweet Melissa Patisserie. Now the base is a fondant icing in the light pink, and it has blue piping stripes down every tier and tiny floral accents on every layer. Now you also want your linens on your cake table to pick up on your palette, so make sure that your cake designer and event designer really communicate over your colors. Another way to understand color is to consider the two color families, warm and cool. The warm colors are your reds and oranges and yellows. The cool colors are the blues and greens and violets. Now designers often build palettes using 2 or 3 colors within the same family. You could use 3 cool colors and then add a complementary color such as red for an accent.